So here we go. We're buffing. Using some of the silver sail buffing stuff. Seems to be pretty decent. I'm just changing to a polishing pad now. Next step. Actually, I'm just going from a T25 to a T20, a T37. So anyway, I saw a thing on YouTube. It was Chip Foose at NACE, and he was doing a buffing demonstration that he really didn't want to do. You know, you can tell when people do stuff they really don't want to. Let me turn this radio off before I get deflagged. But anyway, the guy was asking him, you know, what's the best way to clean a buffing pad? And he really didn't want to answer the guy, I don't think. But he told the guy to go ahead and tell him how he does it. And the guy sort of got snotty with him and said, no, you tell me how you do it first. And he said, well, he said, after I spend a couple $1,000s on a paint job, 3, 4, 10,000, whatever it is, I like to buy a new buffing pad. I don't clean them. So I sort of like that. So I've been trying to use new pads and not clean them as much. So some of them are expensive, some of the 3M pads, you know, but you can incorporate that into the price of the job and it makes it much nicer, you know. Of course, if you're doing your own stuff at home and you want to take a chance of scratching it, you can clean the pads out. All right, you guys are gonna have to go somewhere else and have your little groom fest. We're trying to do a video in here. Yeah, talking to the YouTubers. Anyway, we're buffing the outside, starting with the outside. Come on now, go on! Get out of here! Then we'll move on to the dashboard and stuff. I thought you were gonna be a good dog. Oh, I gotta chase the kitties all the time. Yeah, these pads work pretty good. I got these from the warehouse where we get our paint from. And they seem to work pretty well. Even with the polish, pick that up there. I need to buy some stuff for this car, but I wanted to get started on it, so I'm using some of my stuff. And I need to get a bottle of Trizac pad, and some stuff like that. So just trying to get it slicked out and going over it with 2000, and now we're buffing that up. What we're getting with this, it's a little slower. The polishing compound instead of a compound. Oh yeah. There we go. So we've got here microfiber towel. Keep it clean as you go, and then you got less cleanup at the end. That's what I do. Oh, this is nice and shiny in here, so it just wipes right off. Looking pretty good, guys. We'll be alright with this one. This will all get rhino lined here down, I believe. I don't think we're leaving the paint. And that works as a little sound deadening, and it also protects it, you know, so it doesn't get all the rock chunking. Yeah, she's won't make you guys sit through the buffing because it's boring, man. It's relaxing though. There we go. I don't know, it's not the most favorable color for videoing, but it's slick as glass, and it's looking good, guys. Really good. Got that quarter well on the way. This one's almost done. You know, we'll tri-zack that next, and she should be looking pretty good. Then we'll move up to the cowl panel, which is already sanded but not buffed yet. And once I get the cowl buffed, I'll work my way inside the car there. I got some of the door jambs blocked down with some 1500, and I'm gonna go do the dash today too, get it sanded so it can be closing back up. I like to go ahead and sand them, let them sit, lets the scratch close up, and then go over it with some 2000, let that sit a little while, and then hit it with a buff. But she's on the shiny, so it's looking good. Pretty happy with it. I think they'll be happy with it too, as long as they still like the color they picked. So that'll be the big thing. There's a little bit of the roof, just the first buff. No polish. I need to get some smaller pads. I'm out of pads for to get in here. Sort of hard to turn the buffer loose on this rain gutter. So yeah, it's coming along. It's going to be slow, you know. Hopefully I can get this side of the car soon here in the next half a day. I'm going to spend a little more time on this, and then I'm going to work on my car. Broke another valve spring. So I'm going to be pulling that motor out and pulling those heads off and getting rid of those springs. Must be a bad batch or something, because cam's not that big. This one broke just turning onto my street. So one good thing about this car, it hadn't left me stranded. It's always broke right on my road here where I could coast it into the driveway. So this one was the same way. It's broke another exhaust spring. So I would say it's heat related, you know. I mean, it's not getting hot, but the ones that are seeing more heat cycles, they're the ones that are snapping. Now those springs did get a little bit of surface rust on them. I had them sitting on the bench 4 or 5 years ago, and Scooter told me don't use them because once they get a little rust on them, they're junk. and I didn't believe them. I glass beaded them and put them on there, and damn sure they're breaking. And I've never broke a valve spring ever. Not even racing this car have I ever broke a valve spring. So that's 2 in the last week. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull that motor out, and we'll pull the heads apart and put some different springs on there for sure. And I'll have to dig some stuff up because I don't have a whole lot of stuff. I got a little more set of heads in here with a set of Berg springs, I think, but I don't know if they're any good. I got this set here that are freshly set up and dirty, but yeah, I like to put these on there. That'd make it run. These are cut out for 94, so that ain't gonna happen. So the only thing I could do is pop those on the race motor and put that motor in my car and throw some 48s on it. But those heads are way too small for this big motor, so need big valves. Those are tank heads. There's a little kitten. Who's that, Patches? Patches. Patches, Patches, Patches! So yeah, it's Patches, because he's got 2 white spots on his stomach. But anywho, it's a beautiful day here. Hope you guys are thawing out a little bit. Saw in the news where it's still snowing in some places. Little sun, you guys like that kind? It's gonna be 80 degrees here today, 79 for the high. So that'll be pretty cool. So anyway, let me get back to the buffing and stop yakking. And yeah, I'll turn this back on later today. We'll get that motor out. We'll do a video of that, maybe pull the heads off and see what those look like. Andrea said I was pretty heavily medicated when I built that motor 3 years ago. So she said that I should expect it to break, but I don't know. I don't think it's the way it's set up. I think it's the parts, unless I find something crazy, you know. It's pretty mild. No reason for it to be snapping springs off. Anyway, I gotta get back to sanding. I got this side sanded up to here. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand that quarter panel, and then we'll finish sanding the roof, and then I'll go ahead and get the inside of the car wet and sand that. And we're gonna sand this dashboard or the top here next and buff that. Get that all looking good. And as soon as we get the car done, we'll go ahead and bring the parts in. I got one fender here, but I'll probably put the hood on first. I gotta flip the hood over and buff the underside of it, and then buff the underside of the deck lid. And yeah, we'll be on the road to putting this back together. I just gotta get the fenders on it and hang the doors. And Scooter will do the major assembly, the dirty deeds. You know, he'll put the sound pad down in there, and then he's got a tranny and a motor and all that stuff ready for it. New wiring harness, AC, all that good stuff, and then we'll get a picture of it all together. Probably 6 months from now, whatever it takes to build a car. Take a while, I'm sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this off, and we'll turn it back on a little later when we got something more interesting. There's Missy being Missy. Missy, you being good? Hey, be nice. All right, guys, have a good day.